Hey foodie friends, so today we are headed to the Philippines to make afritada. Now, let's get saucy. All right, foodie friends, so I have here about 2-ish pounds of chicken legs, and to that I'm going to add, this is a tablespoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of lime juice, and 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now, afritada is either usually made with, most commonly I think chicken or pork, but it can be made with other meats, and it's stewed. I've seen a couple of recipes where they do this marinade and a couple where they don't, but whenever I can add extra flavor, I want to, so I'm gonna marinate this for a little bit. So along with that, I'm just adding in some cracked black pepper, and we're just gonna mix that up and set it aside. And it's not a long marinade. You can do this for anywhere from 15 minutes to, with the lemon and lime juice in there, I wouldn't let it go more than like an hour because it's gonna start to break down the chicken and kind of cook it, that acid in there. So I'm just gonna do this, mix it up, let it kind of marinate a little bit while I prep up my vegetables. And then we can come back and give this another stir every once in a while as we, like I said, prep up our vegetables. So for those vegetables, what I have is I have a red bell pepper, I have some potatoes, some onion, about 1/2 of a large onion, and some garlic. And then we are also gonna add in some frozen peas towards the end. There's also gonna be some bay leaves in here, some other stuff like that, because this is a stewed dish. So I've seen where they add other different vegetables as well. You can kind of, what I've heard is add whatever you like to this. Some people add hot dogs to it. I've seen it with cheese in it, but we're going kind of basic today with just those few vegetables and our chicken. So let's go ahead and prep our vegetables. All right, so we're just gonna smash our garlic cloves and give those a good mince. And throw those in a container. So our onion, just gonna make some slices in it, kind of sticks, and then turn that, cut it the opposite way to make a dice. And then that can go right in with our garlic. We'll go ahead and give our potatoes a peel. And then just cut those into kind of big chunks. So I'm just gonna cut each one in half and cut them into about 4 or 5 pieces. Our bell pepper, just go around like so. We'll take this bottom piece. I want kind of nice size pieces like that. And so then I'll just take this outside piece and cut it into big strips, and each one of those into a couple of chunks. And we want some carrot as well. So I've got a couple of carrots here. I don't know if I'm gonna need both of them, but give them a quick peel and cut some big pieces of carrot. All right, foodie friends, so our veggies are all prepped up. I also have some chicken stock here. This is chicken stock that I made. You can use water and chicken bouillon. You can use store-bought chicken stock or chicken broth, whatever you want. If you just use water, that's fine too. The broth or the stock is gonna give it a little bit more flavor, but whatever you have. And then I have a small can, 8 ounces of tomato sauce that we're gonna use, and some bay leaves. I have just happened to have fresh bay leaves here. If you have dry, that's fine. Either one will work just fine. Just gonna give a little bit of background flavor to it. So we're gonna go ahead and move over to the stove and get started. We're first gonna brown our chicken. All right, so I have a saute pan here just set over medium heat that I've got some vegetable oil in, and we are just going to saute our chicken. We're gonna get it nice and brown on all sides. And we're gonna do this in batches so we don't overcrowd the pan, otherwise it won't really get nice and brown, it'll kind of steam. So 2 batches for this. Okay guys, so look, when your chicken is ready to flip, it'll come off easily. So if it's sticking, that means it's not ready yet. So just leave it and let it come loose. So we're gonna flip it over, get it brown on the other side. This is a step that like you could kind of skip if you wanted to, but like I said with the marinade, if I can add extra flavor, I'm gonna add extra flavor, and this is gonna add more flavor. So we'll just let this brown on the other side, then do our second batch, and then go in with our vegetables. Okay, so our chicken is done. I'm gonna turn this down and I'm gonna add in our onions and garlic. And just let this cook for a couple of minutes to get a little bit translucent. Add a little bit more oil in there. That smells so good. Nothing better than the smell of garlic sauteing. And you see all that brown on the bottom of the pan. That is going to be so much flavor added into this. So that's that extra step of browning the chicken. Also gives you all that fond that you can scrape up when you add your stock and stuff in there. Okay, so that looks good. They're starting to get a little bit of color. They're starting to soften up quite a bit. So I'm going to, because I really want to deglaze this pan, I'm going to go ahead and add in my chicken stock now. And scrape the bottom of that pan to get all that beautiful fond off the bottom. Turn the heat back up a little bit. Okay, so add in my tomato sauce now. And I'm gonna take a little bit of this stock out, pour it in my pan, in my can here so I can get every last bit of that tomato sauce out of there. Put in a couple of my bay leaves, and then we'll just nestle our chicken back in here and bring that up to a simmer. Once that's at a nice simmer, we're gonna let that go for, like I said, about a half an hour, and then we'll start adding our veggies in. So pop the lid on that, let it come up to a boil, reduce it down to a simmer, 30 minutes. The one thing I forgot was I wanted to put the rest of this marinade in there too. So there's a little bit of this marinade left, just add that right in. And you wanna make sure that you're coming in every few minutes to give this a stir, just so nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan. All right, foodie friends, so our chicken has been bubbling away for about a half an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in our carrots and potatoes and just kind of nestle those in, stir this around a little bit so we can get those cooked. So this, like I said, we're gonna give this another like 10 to 12 minutes. And then we will add in our bell peppers because we want these vegetables to be tender but still have some bite to them, right? So let this come back up and we'll give it 10 more minutes. Okay, so it's been about 10 to 12 minutes. I did bump this back up to high because it had a lot more liquid than I was wanting, so I wanted to get some of it reduced off of there. So now we're going to go ahead and just throw our bell peppers in here. And same thing, we're just gonna kind of move those around, nestle them in a little bit. And we're gonna give these probably another like 5 to 7 minutes to cook. And I'm also going to, let me give this a quick little taste, see where we're at as far as seasoning goes. Oh, that's delicious. I'm gonna add in just a little bit of fish sauce and a couple of turns more of black pepper. All right, so we'll let that go for another 5 to 7, 8 minutes, and then we'll add in our peas and we'll be all set. All right, last thing we're gonna do, just throw our peas on here. And I'm actually gonna just turn the heat off, put the lid back on, and let those warm through for a few minutes. And then I'm actually gonna garnish it with a little bit of scallions, totally optional. It's already got the onion in there, so I just wanna give it a little more freshness, a little more color, and drive home that oniony flavor a little bit. Our afritada is done, and doesn't it look delicious? Serve that up over some white rice, and you are ready for a delicious dinner. And there it is, foodie friends, my chicken afritada. This looks so good. I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely delicious. Let's go in for a bite. Oh, the chicken is so tender, it just falls right off the bone. Get a little bit of rice and so tender, so delicious. Not complicated, right? This is just a humble kind of dish, but very heartwarming, very cozy comfort food. You guys are definitely gonna wanna try this recipe. So thanks as always for joining me here on Getting Saucy with Chef Lynn. The written recipe, a link to the full written recipe rather, will be in the description box below. As you can follow me across all social media at Chef Lynn Wheeler. My website where this recipe and all of my recipes are is cheflynnwheeler.com. If you're in the Central Florida area, you can also use that to reach out to me to book for catering and personal chef jobs, stuff like that. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. And foodie friends, I will see you next time. Fantastic.